All right, folks. I just got to break it down for you real quick, okay? Because I've been kind of keeping track of something here. And I just got to let the public know at this point. So, our main event of the night, Rob Font versus Cody Garbrandt. Yeah, I had a bet on Rob Font. And you know what? I said to myself, dude, I am on this show. When we take a look ahead, we always take a look ahead at main events, right? I am on this show handing out winners on these main events just at an alarming clip. So I had to look into it, Al, and I did. And do you want to know the last time your boy Bleed got a main event wrong? The last time I did not pick the winner right of a main event? Woo! Get in the time machine, buddy. Because I'm going to tell you right now, UFC 259, when Jan Blachowicz beat Israel Adesanya, I had Adesanya. I have not got a main event wrong since, okay? I'm on a killing spree with the main events. Al, had I just been out here hitting my parlay of the week, which another point I just got to bring up. You know what I did, Al? The parlay of the week? The winningest bet in combat sports history. It wins again. Damir Ismagulov. Was it Sketch City for the first minute of that fight? Oh yeah. Did he dominate anyway? Oh yeah. Bruno Silva. Free money, Al. Free money on that Bruno Silva. That was ridiculous. And David Dvorak, more just free money out there. Just ridiculous. It cashes. Parlay of the week does what it does, and it just wins, baby. But Al, equally as impressive run right now, man. The main event, Rob Font. I saw this one for what it was, Al. I will say this. I thought there was a very good chance this fight didn't go to the scorecards. And that was based off the danger of Cody Garbrandt to finish a fight and the fact that I question the durability of Cody Garbrandt, which, Al, I gotta put it like this. So Rob Font wins this fight dominantly. The judge that came up with a 48-47 Rob Font scorecard, bro, I'm going to need to know where you find 2 rounds of that fight Cody Garbrandt won, because for my money, he maybe won the first and then clearly lost every round, okay? Rob Font goes out here and puts on a dominant performance on Cody Garbrandt at an ever so slight favorite. I think I bet him minus 120. I mean, phenomenal value, Al, to look at this fight. And this fight played out really how I saw it playing out. I said, yes, Cody Garbrandt looked good in his last matchup. Yes, he looked fast. But against an aging 39-year-old Rafael Sunsao, whose reflexes are shot. The guy's 4 years past his expiration date, and I'm not overly impressed. And I said I questioned the durability of Cody Garbrandt. Now, did we see Cody Garbrandt get KO'd tonight? No, we didn't. Did he eat a lot of shots? Yes, he did. Yeah. But the durability factor still came into play. Cody Garbrandt had the fight, the will to win, beat out of him tonight by the jab and right hand of Rob Font. Rob Font, a guy that I said, you know, he's the older man of Cody Garbrandt by 1 year. This is a guy who is approaching that 35-year mark that I consistently talk about. Rob Font has his foot on the gas and has to go now. He is in a race against Father Time, truly. But what I said was career trajectory-wise, the skill, the growth, the adaptation, and where these guys are at in their career, I see a, at best, plateauing Cody Garbrandt, if not declining, versus an up-and-coming, getting better every fight Rob Font. And that's what the difference was for me. Rob Font comes in here with 6 inches of reach, possibly the best jab in all of MMA. And Rob Font just gets his game off, puts Cody Garbrandt on the back foot, 5 rounds, clear-cut win, a casher, a winner. Literally the difference. Tonight, my night came down. I'm either going to lose money on the night, I'm either going to be down, or I'm going to be up, depending on if Rob Font comes out here and wins this fight. Sure enough, my tremendous main event winning streak continues. Rob Font wins, makes me a winner on the night ever so slightly. Al, what'd you think, man?
Yeah, I got to say, you reminded me. I'm not on quite the hot streak, but I go back to April 10th, Vettori versus Holland. Since then, every main event, Vettori, Holland, Whitaker, Gaslam, Usman, Masvidal, Reyes, Prochazka, Rodriguez, Watterson, Oliveira, Chandler, and Rob Font. We've called every single one. And your
That's
hot
a
streak,
dude.
Your hot streak goes further back. But I will say this: I ate it in this one, and it all came down to the fight goes the distance no, which I had on the tail end of 2 parlays because I got a little bit greedy, and I had the under 2.5 rounds in this one. And this was one of those ones where I was as confident as I was last week's main event that this was not going to go the distance, because we're talking about 2 guys in bantamweight. I think they're both top 5 in finishes.
Right.
I think, and I was just like, someone's going to sleep. There's no way, both these guys boxing, at least at the start of the fight, it's just so crisp. And, Font landed the cleanest of shots. And, Cody Garbrandt, man, I don't think his confidence is there anymore, but if he's going to, if that's the chin that he's going to have, like what an unbelievable, just apart from losing the fight, pretty much getting shut out, what a performance by his chin. Like it was just,
it held up.
Oh my God. It shows that he's still got a career if he wants to continue fighting, because a lesser man would have been knocked, I don't know about unconscious, but a lesser man would have been TKO'd, finished easily. And I think it just comes down to Garbrandt's. He's got such a high fight IQ. As soon as he starts getting touched, he just automatically moves in for the takedown. He's just in different ways and in different angles, like head movement down and go and shoot in. And he would back up against the cage, which I guess Font, if you saw, Font was not engaging him when Cody had his back up against the cage.
Good call.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things. And I feel like Cody, like he's still got it, man. Like his footwork is so impressive. Like he's so good at evading, similar to Cruz, but obviously not quite as unorthodox. But again, I thought like as good as Rob Font looked, the odds, this was just a home run spot. And I wish that I bet more on Rob Font and less on the under, because this was a gift. Font closing at -120, and that it was just a lot of casual money coming in on Garbrandt, because
absolutely
there's with Garbrandt, Garbrandt coming off the COVID thing, having a long layoff before the Sun South fight. It was just so easy to pick Font in this fight. And I didn't expect that though. I expect Font to knock him out, and it was pretty disappointing. And my night depended heavily on that under, and that fight goes the distance no. And it didn't cash, but it is what it is. We get a week off after this, which is definitely needed, and we go forward. But with Font, he cashes at -120 on the money line. He's now 8-3 in his last 11 UFC appearances, and just 3.3 units on the money line in that stretch. So he's been a pretty heavy favorite, and throughout those 11 fights. So what is the New England cartel? Him and Cater, these guys, they just keep getting better. Like apart from Cater getting his brain turned into mush, he's still similar to Cody tonight. He's still, these guys still are definitely great prize fighters. And Font, it's rough that with Aljo and all that. But I saw somebody in the chat had the fantasy matchup of Jan and Font. As far as boxing goes, that would be a great fight. That would be so awesome, because that whole fight is playing out on the feet, right? And what do you think about that matchup?
I think it's a great matchup, but I'm not kidding you, Al. I I already have that one entirely figured out, and it's not a hard pick. Should I drop it on the folks?
What?
Petr Yan takes Font down and has his way with him. Both high-level boxers, but the one thing Garbrandt did have some success with tonight, and honestly, he should have leaned on it, but you know what? He didn't have the gas to do it. Those takedowns, his ability to put Font on the mat. Cody Garbrandt, a high school wrestler, a guy who has a wrestling background, knows what he's doing, a guy who came up at Team Alpha Male, a clan of almost pure wrestlers who all fell in love with their hands and started landing bombs. Cody Garbrandt leading the pack as far as that goes, right? Petr Yan would absolutely go in there and he'd take Rob Font down. That is the kryptonite to Rob Font's game plan. We saw it tonight. Did he do a good job working his way up back to his feet? Absolutely. But Petr Yan, his array of takedowns and throws is absolutely something else. And man,
that's true.
Listen, we're talking about Petr Yan, the rightful, real champion of the division, and maybe the best bantamweight of all time. That's right, I said it. Petr Yan. I really think that highly of this guy at this point. Honestly, I'm not sure who can hang with Petr Yan right now. It's going to need to be one of these up and coming guys. But for my money, man, Petr Yan absolutely probably dog walks Rob Font, if I'm being honest.
Yeah, and as far as Cody goes, now that he's lost and he's out of the title picture, this opens up a lot of him and Cruz again. The rematch, I think that would be a decent fight. It makes sense. And then him and O'Malley. I think O'Malley.
I'm gonna tell you right now, Sean O'Malley. Just watch that performance from Cody Garbrandt. If I'm Sean O'Malley, I'm licking my chops at what I saw tonight. A compromised guy who doesn't appear to be able to go even 3 hard rounds. I mean, Garbrandt was essentially shot midway through the second. A guy who consistently is moving backwards and really loads up on every shot and is very predictable. You can anticipate quite a bit and only has enough wrestling to go a round and a half. If I'm O'Malley, I'm getting on the phone to my manager and I'm going, let's put together a Cody Garbrandt fight. Here's the problem. Why do I see Cody Garbrandt taking another extended layoff after this beating he took tonight? O'Malley probably needs to look elsewhere because I don't think that Garbrandt matchup. Maybe win a fight, then get Garbrandt on the come up because this ain't the same Cody Garbrandt. This guy's not elite anymore. He's dangerous only in the first round, maybe 2. And beyond that, he is incredibly average. And what Rob Font laid out was an absolute blueprint tonight. You pump a jab, you put Cody Garbrandt on the back foot, and you nullify virtually all this guy's weapons. Cody Garbrandt landed some good shots. Cody Garbrandt landed some hard shots on Rob Font and absolutely tested his chin. But that's not the Cody Garbrandt that styled on Dominic Cruz and would knock the dude down and bust off like a Fortnite dance or something or whatever he was doing. You know what I mean? Like, this is not the same guy. Not at all. He's taken too much damage. His confidence is shot. This guy walked into the UFC championship. I mean, I had people telling me earlier today, you're wrong about Garbrandt. They're telling me Garbrandt will win this fight. And they're like, do you not realize how Garbrandt won the title? I mean, the guy was undefeated to beat Dominic Cruz. Yeah, I was there. I lived it. I was surprised then. But that's also 5 years ago. And the guy's been KO'd so many times by TJ Dillashaw, who's loaded up on PEDs. So it's not even like a regular KO. It's like a juiced up KO. Then Munoz, big time off, training camp issues, blah, 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 back injuries. He just ain't the same guy no more. And you're right, Al. Rob Font was an absolute home run spot tonight. And we're absolutely blessed to be able to get him at -120.
Oh, yeah. And, as far as O'Malley goes, it's not Garbrandt isn't quite Thomas Almeida, but it's just a bit of a step up as far as someone who's compromised and who's, doesn't have a gas tank. But I feel like that's the type of fight that the UFC would love to make, is O'Malley and Garbrandt, just two marketable guys, basically. And yeah, I don't know. That's the type of thing, though, with that chin, I don't think we'd see a walk-off finish with O'Malley. That's the type of thing where, just fantasy bookmaking here. But if you got plus money on the over in that one, based on what we saw tonight, I think that one would have a good chance of going to the later parts of the fight. And it's similar to like what we saw with O'Malley and Almeida. But yeah, as far as Font goes, yeah, it's just if he's going to say the next fight that I want is going to be for the title, he's going to have to wait quite a while. So he needs like a money fight or something in the meantime. And basically it comes down to he should get the winner of Sandhagen and Dillashaw, right? And
I mean, from a ranking standpoint,
the loser.
Okay, that might make more sense. Hey, Al, maybe you're right though, man. That's a fight that's coming up. That I honestly, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get the winner or the loser. I wouldn't be surprised if they give him the winner of that fight. Actually, that could be a good number one contenders fight. Him versus the winner of Sandhagen Dillashaw. I think that probably makes quite a bit of sense. And that's going to be a good fight. I can't wait for that one, Al. I got something up my sleeve on that one for sure.